Oh. What the frick? Anyway. Something 52 as always. Hey there. Hey, Nana. Love the intro. Love it so much. So, every single one of these streams is going to start with it. Well, hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Yakadash here. Welcome back to Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Should be getting a message from the Aurora units in a second here. Yep. Oh, there it is.
Samus, the Leviathan seed is protected by an energy shield. You will not be able to reach it with that barrier active. We need more data to determine how the shield can be disabled. You are near the wreckage of a downed Federation vessel. If you can use the satellite uplink on the ship, you may be able to access information concerning the seed. Prepare to receive the ship's coordinates now.
Thankfully, it has the visual, whatever you would call it, that indicates like when like there's no sound or whatever. So. Centuries ago, these beacons were designed to guide ships safely to landing during harsh weather. Pillar ruins are composed of organic stone that is native to Brio, originally placed to greet travelers. The spike bush is an indigenous strain of plant life that produces venom within its leaves. Yeah, there's the thought. It's like the Crawley from Metroid Prime 2. It has a very generic name, but it's spelled very, like, differently, so. Mature cash plant, just like this as well. Plant has fully developed bark that only heavy beams and explosives can damage. But you know what? You look at it, you hear the name, you know what it is, you know. Instead of just calling it, shall we say, a Morbuzach from Bionicle. Now, just hearing the name Morbuzach, it sounds sinister, which it is. More like Morbu, like morbid. But you wouldn't really know that it was a plant. But anyway. Mature cat. That's not to bash on the name Morbuzach, by the way. It's just to give an example. Anyway, mature cash plants are used for storage by Brio natives. Unlike the younger versions, these have developed a thick bark that is only vulnerable to heavy weapon fire. This feller. Moganar class war golem is incomplete. Sculpting process was halted 328.9 years ago. So they're not saying cycles anymore, they're saying years now. Howdy, neighbor. Moganar class war golem is offline and trapped within stone masts. This unit is beyond repair. Weathered altar ruins were once part of a much larger structure. Its original purpose is unknown. Noted. This heavy stone door contains a low-level energy shield that can be disrupted by any weapon. Wait, hang on. Two doors are carved from heavy stone, native to the planet. Each door has been... okay. Just that part, the fact that they were made of stone wasn't mentioned. In the superficial scan. Yeah, that would be the technical term. The superficial scan. Identifies cash plants. Store field supplies and vital gear. The Reptilicus use cache plants as a means to store supplies, shooting them with any weapon. Okay. Oh, hello, what have we here? Brio native is encased in solid ice. Scans indicate that the bioform inside is still alive. Hear me? Like the visual storytelling they do. You don't really see that as much in like Skytown or on the Pirate Homeworld. Like this visual storytelling you get as you're going around, you're like, oh, Rundus was here. Bioform appears to have been engaged in combat at the time of being frozen. Oh, hello. Oh, not you. Not you, you! Gragnol. Lack of exoskeleton makes it agile but weak to most weapons. Gragnols are vulnerable to most weapons as they have not developed the durable exoskeleton found on adult members of the species. They often travel and attack in groups. If they sense a nearby threat to their hives, they will not hesitate to advance. Their offensive capabilities are underdeveloped, leaving the ability to fire pulses of phazon energy their only form of attack. Indeed. Structure identified hopper nest. The exterior is incredibly durable. Life signs detected within. GF database access file. BY, like Brio, I guess. 550 according to lore. These statues are a monument to the folly of war. Indeed. Whoa, that was weird. A solid ice mass appears to have been made to gain entry to temple. Ice has not yet begun to thaw. Except, Rundus can fly, so... you know, he actually didn't need to do that. So, you know, him knowing that, I guess the logical conclusion would be that he actually just left it as a courtesy to other people, or whatever. Scans indicate Bioform has sustained fatal spinal fractures from impacting the wall. Ouch. Small Brio coffers can be destroyed by weapon fire. Outer plating appears fragile. Designed to be easily transported. Outer plane looks lightweight. Okay. Oh. Is there a heavy one? Yeah, there we go. Large Rio coffers contain energy with... Originally designed to store items and supplies in locations where cache plants wouldn't survive. Their hardened plane makes them resistant. Okay. Neato. Oh, I'm actually at full health. Oh, did you see that? It showed the grapple point and then it disappeared. So I don't have the swing grapple yet. That's funny. It's raining now. That is a neat detail about Brio. Brio is like the one planet in the Prime games that actually has a weather cycle. Like sometimes it'll rain and sometimes it won't. What am I supposed to do again? Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to mosey over here, I guess. Also, the architecture is like very like it's like Indo-China. Kind of African in some cases, although more Indo-China, I guess. For whatever reason, in my head, I just assumed that the cyan door, actually it's more green, I guess. The green door is the one I have to open first. But then I'm like, oh wait, no, it's actually the orange one. Phazon Night Barb. Group forms powerful attack, but it can be overloaded to destroy them. Yeah, so we remember the Night Barbs from Dark Aether. Phazon Night Barbs have enhanced aerial mobility that makes them all but impossible to hit with normal shots. The group will work together to create a powerful energy burst that they will fire at their prey, detonating the energy charge with normal attacks before it fires should destroy them. Phazon Night Barbs are the result of Night Barbs being exposed to Phazon radiation. These mutations look similar to their uncorrupted counterparts, but are characterized by their greatly increased offensive and defensive capabilities. Okay. Well, yeah, green means they're gonna fire, blue means they're gonna like charge at you, I think. In which case, it's like a suicide strike. Object out of structures blocking platform. Unit appears to be connected to nearby security. Police. Yeah. Okay. Well, here's a wonder. I'm actually going through this and I have forgotten what I'm supposed to do. It's unusual for me because oh yeah, these platforms up here, of course. Duh. Oh, I guess part of why I assume that I'm supposed to do the green or aqua one first is because, you know, it's the one that I exit, or I first enter this area. Prefer dark ether, maybe. This is a very sort of abstract version of the puffer that we've seen. Of course, this is now a gel puffer, but yeah, consumes and emits fuel gel fumes, explodes when ruptured. The exposure to fuel gel has left the shell of the gel puffer highly susceptible to weapon fire. So, you know, you can be exposed to phazon, and you can be exposed to fuel gel. How about a little bit of both? Also, yeah, shit. Yeah, there we go. Gel puffers have come to rely on the toxic vapors given off by fuel gel for sustenance. They process these gases and then expel the excess to stay afloat. The brittle shell of the puffer, while durable in appearance, is rather thin and easily damaged. So I'm on the planet Brio, and these are the ruins of the Reptilicus, which were known by the Chozo. Kind of an Indo-Chinese architecture, the way I see it anyway. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, right. Sorry. Wilbur, explain it to him. Dang it. Red blast shield is invulnerable to most weapon systems. Explosive damage may break it. Or somebody do it. Yeah, somebody. Brimstone. Brought back Brimstone. Yes, sir. Which I imagine it's called Brimstone because it's like native, or it's like a common element in Brinstar. Shellbug attacks by firing phazon spines. A soft body is vulnerable to attack. Shellbugs are slow-moving, roaming insects whose soft bodies are easily damaged. Until they reach maturity, they will not develop their phasite shell. Unable to retract into a shell to avoid damage, they must aggressively attack any potential threat. They will extend sharp spines to fend off attackers or propel these spines at enemies. Scans indicate an abnormality in this unnatural ice formation. Phazon signature is present. Indeed. Oh, wait a minute. Just realized. I need to get the, I needed to go the other way first. Alright. First, I think you actually can get damaged by this. So, you know. Ah, it's hoppers. The Ing wannabes. Hopper attacks with razor-sharp talons, pounces from distance. Preparing an airplane, you say? These aggressive insectoids use small hops to get within striking distance and then pounce, using their talons to tear away at their prey. From a distance, they will fire bursts of venom at their target. Despite their aggressive nature, they are somewhat fragile and can be easily dispatched. Because of this, they will commonly hunt in packs. Oh. Never mind, I didn't need to go this way first. I guess I kind of did, just because it was not the way you're supposed to go, or it's not the progression way, you know. Brionian data translated. Well, not exactly. You know, it just means because he has phase, because he's got internal phase on. His ice also has... Whoa, what the heck? That was weird. It's like he could have done that while he was in hyper mode. Besides, there's much to be said about, you know, how Rundus actually dies, which, you know, I'll get to that later. Look now to the past and to the time of peace on Brio. See the age of gold, when our world was a paradise unrivaled. Hear the songs of joy fill the streets of the royal city, as the people honor the coming of Brios, of Brius the First, the Liberator. Behold the launch of our first ship to the stars on that day, and witness the rise of science, of a new Brio. See this, and see the beginning of our downfall. Well, that just went from like, ooh, you know, awesome and exciting. Yeah, I know, but my point is like, my point is that he could be shooting ice out of hyper mode, and then he could be shooting ice in hyper mode. In which case, if he's doing hyper mode, ice is still coming out, but now it's got phase on in it. Bioform is encased in solid ice and is blocking entry to the tunnel. High temp shots may shatter it. Wait, is it this way that... Phase on vines are impervious to attack, but growths are vulnerable to phase on based weaponry. Phazon. It's kind of like the Red Lantern blood magic. How basically they use their own weapon, or they use their own blood as a weapon. Howdy, neighbor. Sounds extremely painful, by the way. Now here's another difference between the trilogy version and this game. The music is slightly different. In the trilogy version of this theme, they add a bit of like sort of mechanical percussion, which appears later in this game when you're fighting the Skytown defense drone. Anyway, Reptilicus Hunter. Target can generate a personal cloaking field around its body. Phazon Corruption has granted Reptilicus Hunters the ability of cloaking themselves. They use this to their advantage and will hide or move positions while cloaked to gain the upper hand in combat. Reptilicus Hunters are fairly organized despite their primitive nature. Usually attacking in small groups, they patiently wait for their prey to become isolated in a locked area before attacking. Their weaponry consists of an energy whip for close-range assaults and a throwing chakram for long-range attacks. They have adapted to the harsh climates of Brio and are quite resistant to fuel gel and heat-based attacks. So, interestingly, it's like when I was playing Age of Empires 2, the definitive edition, something in one of the newer civilizations, which was one of the new Indian civilizations, namely the Gurjaras. One of the reasons I wanted to get good at them, I mean, they had a lot of cool things going for them. Like, they were a civilization that not only could you house relics and gain gold over time, but you could also house livestock and gain food over time. But one of the big things why I wanted to get good at them was because one of their unique units was a chakram thrower. And, you know, I saw the chakram thrower and I was like, oh, I'm getting like Prime 3 vibes because, or rather, I'm getting Prime 3 nostalgia because I hadn't heard of a chakram until Prime 3. So. The corruption seems more aggressive and diplomatic in this game than Prime 1. Most of them are just seems like DS. Yep. Age of Science. So we went from the Age of Gold to the Age of Science. Here we go. The stars of Brio sped to the stars in all directions, bearing the banner of peace. Soon we found stellar brethren in the Chozo, the Luminoth, and the Elah. Starborn, the Luminoth, remember those guys. The Starborn knowledge came to Brio, and we gladly sent our wisdom to our new friends in return. The hearts of Brio were filled with pride, and they honored the lords of science for all the wonders we provided. As the time of new Brio came to be, the old ways faded. The cries of joy from those who honored science covered the angry shouts of those who mourned the old ways, the primal traditions. Man. Yeah. I mean, Phazon does, like, you know, exhibit some intelligence and whatnot, because it's not just pure or anything like that. It's also organic. The little mushrooms. Also, they kind of brought back the sonic or the sound-based locks from Prime 2 with Brio. Morphology, Snatcher, works with a Korba to feed, vulnerable to concussive blasts. Snatchers are cunning, albeit weak bioforms. Unable to kill most prey on their own, they rely on the stronger Korba to do the work for them. Snatchers will swarm onto a target until it is overwhelmed. Once they have their prey, they use their power to levitate, lifting the victim to a point where the Korba can devour them. What the Korba cannot digest, it expels to feed the Snatchers. This symbiotic relationship works well for both Snatchers and the Korba. And that's the Korba, right? Works with Snatchers to feed. The Korba is a vicious, resilient bioform that prefers to lurk above its hunting grounds, waiting for prey. The Korba relies on the smaller Snatchers to levitate victims to a point where the Korba can devour them. What the Korba cannot digest, blah blah blah. The pirates actually didn't make any advances. They just made the Phazon advance faster by test subjects and its Phazon experiments on them, not the other way around. Yeah, the pirates are. Yeah. In Galactic Federation, you do experiments on Phazon, but in the Space Pirate Empire, Phazon does experiments on you. I just love this. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's what started out as, like, Phazon, you know, the pirates doing the experimenting. It's like, you know, I usually get hurt when exploding this, so, yeah, we're fine. Here we go. Grapple swing. Let's go. This game really innovated, like, on like the grapple beam and stuff. Like, hey, you can do all the sources. You can do all this now. And then Dread brought back the grapple beam. In sort of this form where it has multiple functions. Like, you can swing, you can grab something like a shield, or you could use it basically to zip onto like the different blue things or whatever. So, you know, just adding more to the, you know, the Sammy Man, as I like to call it. Comparison, you know, spider magnet / spider ball plus the grapple swing. Now, you could just waste your time doing all this. Or you could just do that. Oh yeah, for sure. Plus the Federation, they were careful not to completely imitate the Space Pirates by internalizing it. Whoop! Hi. You're just a regular Reptilicus, yeah? So, like, for their Marines, they did external phase-on backpacks and such. Teleports across short distances, highly aggressive and territorial. The one exception to that was when the Hunters had internal phase-on in them, embedded in them by Dark Samus. So they're like, okay, let's try something out here. Scans indicate a mutation that allows the Reptilicus to teleport over short distances, commonly used as a combat tactic to corner and trap their prey. The Reptilicus appear to suffer from phase-on corruption, and all higher thought processes have been replaced by savage bloodlust. This corruption has also increased their resistance to heat-based attacks and fuel gel. Here, Lab, I got a job for you. Relay what I just said. Okay. Okay. No, only if you're inclined. Because that's a lot. Yeah. What? Oh, you're behind me. Six-legged folk. Effect on some of the Federation. Maybe they can explain it. Yeah, that's a lot of stretching, but still. No. Yeah, that's a lot of stretching. Bye. Although... I mean, maybe some of them who were, dabbling in phase-on, some of them got a little whack. That'd be kind of funny. It's the old Mad Hatter situation all over again, like where we get the term Mad Hatter. It's like folk experimenting with mercury to help get, like, hairs off or whatever, like different hats and whatnot. And so they got both physical and mental damage. Scans detect elements of phase-on with an ice compound have begun to attack the trapped bioform. Subject was impaled on an ice shard before being frozen. Down vessel located. Griffin-class frigate is identified as the GFS Theseus. Target viable task point. Dang it! These things are so hard to scan. Now, kind of ship this is, what class it is. Oh, it's an Atomus. Or an atomic, rather. Corporeal energy that sloughs explosive segments of its form. Atomics are creatures composed entirely of energy. A strong energy blast is adequate to destabilize the atomic and cause it to explode. It's very similar to the bombus, or the bamboo. They are sustained by their core, which generates a constant supply of electricity. When an abundance of energy has been produced, the atomic will discharge a section of its body in the form of an explosive projectile. When near sources of energy of an opposite polarization, the atomic will respond aggressively. It's kind of like it's like a puma, a cougar, and a mountain lion. They're all the same thing. It's just a matter of location. Alrighty. I've said it once, I'll say it again. A lot of people get annoyed or tired of all the different things that are oh, this game keeps reminding you that you're playing on a Wii. It's like, you know what? Shut up. It makes it immersive. It's kind of like the old saying,
the satellite data has revealed two distinct energy signatures. They must be supplying power to the siege shield.
Indeed.
If these targets are eliminated, the shield will be removed.
Yep.
We are uploading the location of each energy signature and nearby landing sites.
It's kind of like the old saying, don't give a hungry wolf a taste of blood. It's like the people who became the ringleaders were probably around during the time of corruption. So then they experience Phazon or see the power of Phazon and they start, getting intrusive thoughts, shall we say. Trooper's spinal column is shattered. Target appears to have been moving cargo when the ship crashed. Ouch. Satellite interface used. Is there another guy I can scan around here? GFS thesis. Operating under normal parameters for cooling system. What does that say? Hello. always feel like somebody's watching me. Well, that went swimmingly compared to the last time I got that one on the channel. This one's an adult Grachnol, yeah. Resistant to most weaponry, physical stress can weaken it. The large tail that characterizes Grachnol adults is also their weakness. If pulled with enough force, it will tear them apart. An explosive blast will temporarily incapacitate them, making them easier to target. They possess the ability to generate an energy shield around their bodies, preventing beam shots from damaging them. They are cunning predators, flying through their turf in search of unwary prey. They use bursts of phazon energy to overwhelm their targets, and they swoop down to finish them. Maturity has provided them with a very durable exoskeleton. Oh, that's what you're... Okay, I'm like, what's the Z part? I'm like, oh, that's me. Alright. Me, I'm going to big try, to get the Shriek Bat scan data. Whoa, howdy dude. Oh, they don't come back. Dang it. You know what? Your transcriptions are, I think, becoming gradually more unhelpful. Alpha Hopper spits venom at prey from a distance, uses talons in close-range battle. Alpha Hoppers are characterized by their unique color and durable hide. They are highly territorial and will attack any creature who wanders too close to their nests. When hunting in packs, they will often keep their distance, while others move in to attack at close range. Like all hoppers, their legs end in sharp talons and can be used to shred through any prey that gets close enough. Roger, roger. Try dealing with these buddy boys without things on. I go? Which way did I go? Game is like, hey, use your hyper mode. No, I don't wanna. Be neat if you could just knock him off. Whoa. I said right before I get knocked off. Oh. I mean, not really knocked off, just fall off. Let's see, is it this one? It's fine. It was actually more comical than anything, but man, SpaceX has really come a long way, right? No, I didn't scan that thing. Or can I even scan that thing? Also, I said that because something I tend to say from time to time is it looks like there's a Tesla logo on my windshield. Frisian class gunship. GF records identify pilot as Rundus. The engines are still warm. Structure, Dragnol Hive. Scans indicate no activity within. Hive has been abandoned. GF database accessed. File Brio 412. Stonework bears the mark of Skan, a gladiator in the Primal's armies. Press 1 for logbook. Hazard identified. Fuel gel. Substance is highly volatile. Contact with gel can cause trouble. Trouble indeed. Fuel gel is used to power most modern starships in the cosmos. It is extremely rare, and worlds that produce it tend to be quite prosperous. The exception to this is planet Brio, a Federation protectorate, and the largest supplier of fuel gel. Proceeds from Brionian gel sales go directly to the Federation military forces, protecting that sector of space. The sheer value of fuel gel is very attractive and has led to an uprise in piracy over the last 20 years. Today, raids on... so is that indicating that that's kind of what the pirates have been after for a good while? Because the reason that Ridley and his pirates attacked K2L, Samus's homeworld, was because they detected like an energy spike there after the Chozo had left that world, the Earth colony. And what the energy spike was, it was like alfluoryltite, which was used to power like thruster modules for ships and stuff. So that was very valuable for them. So similar. The sheer value of fuel gel is very attractive. Okay, today raids on gel's transport convoys are common, especially in frontier regions of space. The Galactic Federation has increased anti-piracy operations, and planets with fuel gel resources are protected by Federation fleets and ground forces. It's kind of like oil, you know. Yeah, these little fiery butterflies. So they brought back the... I didn't know this for a long time, but they brought back the little detail from Prime 2 that the moths will surround you when you're in Morph Ball mode. And they brought that back in Prime 3. Which I was delighted, because I always found that to be such a cute little detail. Yeah, that and the Mongols, like, kind of some of the descriptions of the pirates kind of make them seem like they were at least somewhat based on the Mongols, because they're referred to as, like, space nomads and whatnot. GF database accessed. File Brio 440. Stonework represents Vimsh. Pronouncing it sh because of like because of Polish actually, but Hungarian actually would make that a s sound. Vimsh II, the first emperor of the Eschar dynasty. Oh wait, the street bats also appear in this area too, do they not? Also, there are other busts around here. GF database accessed. File Brio 441. Stonework represents Owani, or... oh, that's an L. Owanal the First, the third empress of the Sea Clone dynasty. Who knows, maybe they also sell it to the Luminoth. You know, to power their rocket elevators. GF database access. File Brio 442. Stonework represents Amti the Sixth, the 8th emperor of the Imgeth dynasty. Stonework head is blocking access to a transportation shaft, unable to enter from this side. Is there something else I can... I'll tell you what, once I get the ice missile, there's always a fun little trick I love to do. thought I was alone in here. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna read chat. Oh no, I was referring to the Federation selling fuel gel to the Luminoff. I thought that's what you were referring to. Because like, you know, the pirates, I would imagine they're probably not going to sell it as much because they'll just like use it to power their ships. Fuel gel pumping system is operational and working at maximum capacity. Abnormal energy signatures detected beyond this frozen formation. High temp beams could melt the ice. Exhaust pipe appears ready to fall over. Support structures are holding piping in place. Age of Schism. In time, the wonders of science were not enough for those who held the primal traditions in their hearts. The warnings of the Chozo to seek balance between old and new ways were not heeded by the lords of science, myself included. So we found that the guy writing these is one of the science lords. We forged on, ignorant of the rage in the hearts of the primals. The time came when Swiftmus, First Lord of Science, denounced the primals and their traditions in the center of the royal city. Ooh, it was as flame to a dry forest. The age of science ended, and the age of schism was born. Yeah, Sphemus, yeah, probably. Not Sphemus, but... So far, the logs of the Brionian lore logs are in the same locations. Of course, that would be, to switch around that would be harder to pull off, because each of the lore bits are also accompanied by a unique piece of art. Which, honestly, it'd be kind of cool to have, like, you know, to get some, like, you know, replicas, so to speak, of, like, the artwork. That'd be cool. It's just an ability that they have. Yeah, it's part of what they do. They levitate. So, this is a unique track because, like, not only is this a track that doesn't loop at all, but the only way to hear the entirety of this melody is actually, the only way to hear the entirety of this melody is if you pause the game right here and just listen to it. So I'm just going to use that as an excuse. Instead of my regular break screen, I'll just use this as an excuse to go to the bathroom now. So I'll be right back. Alright. Okay. And back.
Samus, we just received very abnormal readings
There you
from
go.
your life support systems. Are you okay? As a precaution, we are downloading the
Got the
diagnostic
entirety
data
of the
from
track
your
played.
site to further
How about that?
analyze this situation. We will contact you again if we have any more information.
Dun dun dun. Your PED suit will allow you to absorb this phazon into your body and utilize it as energy. It's time for a nice bath. So, to get our health back, we had laser showers in the first 2 games. Now we have phazon baths. Alright, hang on. Cannonball! There we go. Got the first bit of like, uh-oh. This ain't good. But, you know, after having played the first 2 primes, you would have, had to have been like, well, surely this would happen at some point. Rundus, old buddy. No, not even a hello. That is great visual storytelling there, right there. It's like you have your first moment where it's like, oh shoot, something's going wrong with this phazon. Like, this could be bad. And then right after that, you see Rundus, and he's acting weird, and he just goes away. So then you're like, you start to put 2 and 2 together. You're like, oh, that's what happened. Warpound teleports over short distances, vulnerable to cold-based attacks. Warpounds are susceptible to low-temperature attacks due to the nature of their thermal energy-driven biosystem. They are often used by Reptilicus as guards and hunt beasts. They consume fuel gel to survive and can expel blasts of converted thermal energy to attack and defend. The creatures can teleport over short distances, disrupting many forms of electronic targeting in the process. Are there critters that feed on like oil? Surely there are some. If I can defeat these guys without hyper mode in the Dark Hunter series, I can defeat them here without hyper mode. got one. But man, are you guys... Got two. Got three. Huh, look at that. So I was actually damaging them fairly equally with each other. Oh, I didn't scan bomb slot data, right? Oh, I can't even. See, I would like to have, like, maybe one of these paintings or whatever. That'd be cool. Could also just replicate it. Age of War. In the beginning, the conflicts were small, out of sight for most on Brio, but they grew, slowly, as steady as the coming of the sun. Diplomacy gave way to brutality, and war came to our world. The Lords of Science turned their minds from exploration to destruction and unleashed horrors unknown upon their primal enemies. In retaliation, the Primals turned to the darkest of ancient powers, cursing us, the Science Lords, and all who served our cause. Friends from the stars, the Chozo, the Elah, the Luminoth, friends from the stars tried desperately to end the conflict, all in vain. The people of war would not be denied. Oof. Well, this one is pretty nice. It's a good, like, portrayal of the conflict of the Science Lords versus the Primals. Age of War is the name of that painting. I don't remember what all of them look like, though, but I do remember liking that one. It's a good, like, summary of the conflict on Brio and the fate of the people. Pump terminal is not primed. Interact with this terminal to activate the fuel. Well, I guess, you know, because so many different creatures actually oil. Heck, humans eat oil, right? Now, did they thrive on oil? Not really. But I guess I'm thinking, like, okay, is there any kind of creature that actually thrives or likes gasoline? And no, not humans. I know humans like gasoline, but we don't eat it, okay? not the last one? Oh, okay. I figured there had to be at least one critter. Oh, right. You don't actually have to fight those things. You could just do this, and then this will cause a chain reaction explosion, and it'll take care of them. But yeah, I figured there had to have been at least one kind of creature that, like, petroleum. Petroleum is, yeah, really what I was looking for, I guess, because petroleum is natural, right? Or it's the raw substance. Or I guess you could call petroleum the ore from which we get gasoline. I don't know if that's really a fair comparison, but yeah. Point being, I figured there would have to be at least one critter that thrived on it. Hang on, I need to get the scan data for these guys. Which actually, I could get it later. Phazon Pillbug. Oh, that's right. That's why I was kind of confused before, because the thing that was called the shell bug I was misremembering as what the other things were called, but no, they were, no, it was the Pillbug I was thinking of. Generates shield for defense, disrupted by concussive blasts. Pillbugs are commonly found in small spaces, often making traveling through tunnels troublesome. Bombs are effective against them, however. They are underground vermin, able to energize their hard-shelled bodies with Phazon. Once charged, they will roll into a defensive shape and charge their enemies. Noted. Also, not scanning rate today. Fascinating. Scans detect an unknown compound with nice formations and vulnerable to weapon fire. Search for a grab ledge. Jump forward to grab onto the ledge and automatically pull yourself up. So they bring back the power grab, or the power grip rather, from like Zero Mission, which is one of the things that Samus actually doesn't lose in Fusion. Which is funny because in Super Metroid you don't have the power grip. Anyway. Certain ledges are composed of unique magnetic alloys that react to your suit. By jumping toward and grabbing onto them, a surge of energy will course through your suit and allow you to pull yourself up. Is that cutscene of me pulling myself up just slightly different than the trilogy version? I'm gonna see if I can grab this extra missile expansion and not die. It's a bit of a tall order. But I'm gonna do it. Nope, nope, nope. Alright. Oh well. Well, just add that to my deaths. Well, like I said, it was a tall order. There's a safe station right here, so worth the shot, I guess. I'm just gonna give me a missile. Even my charge beam's tractor beam respects the different room. Effect. Boy, isn't this spiky? Gel bug. Phasite shell infused with fuel gel explodes when shot. Gel bugs are roaming insects encased in organic phasite. These cavern-dwelling bugs have come to rely on fuel gel as a sort of sustenance. Over time, their shells have become saturated and crystallized with fuel gel. As a result, their bodies have become highly unstable. Weapon fire will disrupt the gel and cause the creature to detonate. Okay, so this is a critter that is encased in both phasite and fuel gel. There we go. Help! Living grenade. Open up. Thank you, neighbor. Nope. It's a pirate destroyer. Which again, I just love, you know, I love how, you know, like we see a pirate destroyer in like the sky in you know, in the Prime 4 trailer. That was exciting. Large space pirate crates have durable plating. Use of force is required to access their contents. Hang on a second, guys. I'm doing my homework, then I'll come and play. Oh, well, I can do my homework with you guys, I guess. Armored pirate trooper covered with a thin layer of armor, susceptible to explosive attacks. Armored paratroopers are equipped with a standard armor suit and provides adequate protection against beam attacks, but is vulnerable to explosive blasts. They are outfitted with all the basic pirate armaments. This includes an assault rifle and energy scythe, both powered by Phazon. EMP grenades are often employed against power-armored foes. A new dash jet system provides increased mobility. Okay, so it's just heavy grade stuff. I do like how over time, like, you know, when you're battling these dudes, duking it out with them, they'll actually, you know, shed some of their armor along the way. Who's here? Stand aside. I will deal with this hunter scum myself. Oh, I didn't even get to scan you, buddy. Rundus, ice armor protects body, but could be ripped off if he was stunned. It's not him doing it, it's Dark Samus within him. Phazon exposure has greatly enhanced Rundus and his ability to generate ice, making him deadly at any range. His durable ice armor has one weak point, the neck. Serious physical stress can weaken and remove it, exposing Rundus to attack. This weak point cannot be seized as long as Rundus is active. He can create frozen objects at will and can freeze missiles in mid-flight. Smaller ice-based projectiles can be shot down, but it is recommended to evade larger attacks. Be advised, Rundus can trigger a hyper mode state, elevating his threat level to match your own. That it is. It's like the trilogy menu theme combines elements of like the first Prime menu theme, the Prime 2 menu theme, and then this theme right here. It's like basically telling you, remember, run this. To duel him without hyper mode. You know what a hurry we're in? Well, it's the only way I can be satisfied if I just use hyper mode over too quickly. I'll tell you what though, it's basically impossible. Now this is like, you know, it's ambiguous. Like, Rundus's fate is ambiguous. Like, some say, what happens? What the? I've never seen that happen before. where the AI pathing just it's like, where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go? I've never seen that before. That was funny. Like, this fight raises some, questions. Like, it's why some people are like, there is disagreement over what exactly happened here. Like, did Rundis totally fall to the Phazon corruption? And that's why, like, he doesn't even, and in doing that, does he kill himself because Dark Samus did that? Because like, you failed me? Or, here's a better explanation, I find, which is that, no, Rundis actually didn't totally fall to the Phazon corruption. In fact, judging by all of his logs, which are always talking about how full of himself he is, well, his will is clearly very strong. So strong, in fact, that seemingly Dark Samus herself had to possess him to override his will. Which, if that's the case, then that would also make sense why he is the only one of the hunters, despite having, like, the most lines out of all of them, is dead silent, pretty much. Just when he interacts with you. Like, he doesn't talk at all. But Gandreda talks to you, or talks to you when they're both corrupted. But Rundis doesn't. He's completely silent. Or at least he doesn't say anything. So it's like, I think, Dark Samus actually possessing him is a much better explanation for what is happening. Which, if that's the case, then also asking, okay, how did he actually die? Did Dark Samus actually use his own powers to kill him? Or did Rundis finally make it out, so to speak, did he make it out of the possession? He overcame it or something, and he's like, you know what? No more, Dark Samus. I'm not gonna let you use me anymore. And then he kills himself. I think that's a much better explanation, personally. And it also just makes Rundis an extra cool character. Oh, now he's in hyper mode. Where are you, boy? Oh, there he is. Said what in a YouTube video? By Grapthar's hammer, Rundus, you shall be avenged. Scorchbug, tiny insects that feed on fuel gel. Explodes when shot. What? Killing himself? Which, if that's the case, then, you know what? Screw it. I don't care. Scorchbugs are, you know, if people are just so sensitive to that sort of thing, well, I don't care. Death is a natural way of life, as Yoda would say. Scorchbugs are exclusively found on fuel gel producing planets such as Brio. The tiny insects subsist entirely on the volatile gel. Like many creatures with this diet, they have taken on the ignitable characteristics of their food source. When shot with any type of weaponry, they burst into a small explosion, leaving behind only a scorch mark. It is from this trait that they have earned their name. Indeed. Well, you know what they say, you are what you eat. Oh. There's the ray. Come on, Ray boy. Oh, dang it. One thing I don't like about, like, the super, like, when, like, the whole thing that you want to scan is highlighted, one thing I don't like about that, and it's, like, maybe the only thing I don't like about it, as opposed to, like, the little icon you have to scan and say the first prime. The one thing I don't like about it is if you're trying to scan something small that's within a bigger thing, then it can be very difficult to do that. Gel ray. Passive bioform native to Brio, lives within pools of fuel gel. So, this is like, I think, the only 3D rendering of the rays from, like, you see them in Fusion. I think you see them a bit in Super Metroid. I know they're in AM2R. But I don't think they appear in any other, like, I don't think they appear in 3D form in any other Metroid game. Not that I recall, anyway. Gel rays are non-aggressive bioforms native to Brio. They are one of the few creatures who make their home within the caustic pools of fuel gel. The unique exterior and shape of the gel ray allows it to withstand and glide through rivers of gel. Their main source of sustenance is small organisms that exist within fuel gel, but they are known to occasionally leap out to feed on insects that fly near the gel's surface. So, something I learned recently is that rays apparently are considered sharks, or at least like very closely related to sharks. Which I was like, wait, really? When I heard that, I was like, you know. Now, I've only heard that from one person, but they sounded pretty confident about it. So, the bird flu. Yeah, they tend to do that. So there are like these different like statements or whatnot, like people just like misunderstanding them or whatever. You know, it's like based on what? Or it's like, and what I did was chef's kiss. Do they really? I was like, the bird flu. Yeah, they tend to do that. You're telling me a shrimp fried this rice? Just stuff like that. And the one I saw was TF2 characters and their voices doing that. And the one that was Chef's Kiss, do they really? It was Pyro, so you can barely understand it. Anyway, made of Maldium shield generator. Just gotta love the inconsistency. Sometimes it's like object out of scanning range, and then you scan the shield and you can scan it from all the way over here. Leviathan seed has impacted itself within the planet, currently protected by an energy shield. Isn't embedded kind of actually the word you're looking for?
Clearly, this is the source of the energy signature we detected.
Indeed.
This generator is supplying power to the Leviathan's protective shield. You will be unable to destroy the generator with your current weapons. You must find a weapon capable of penetrating the generator's heavy armor.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. What did it have to do with it? Just the fact that, you know, really? You know, because I was talking about rays and sharks and stuff, like, really? Really? Says online. I can, you know, my brain can just jump from subject to topic to topic, just on, you know, the drop of a hat. If, you know, if there's the slightest correlation. Downfall. This is the first one that's not a downfall. So you could be just talking to me about the color green, and then immediately I'm thinking of the Hulk. You know. Look now to the time of battle, tribe against tribe. See fertile land swept clean of all living things by arcane nightmares or the hellish blasts of science. See the giant stone Moganars do battle, destroying the land with their titanic blows, and hear the undying scream of a planet racked by darkest war. The battles waged endlessly, and the resources needed to sustain our war machines were great. Brio, too, had become a casualty of the war. The air was filled with the smoke of battle, and the soil soaked with the toxins of pollution. Calamity after calamity visited the folk of Brio, until a world once known for wonders became a scarred husk under the stars. Only a small region remained habitable, and to it the survivors went, bringing the war with them. Very poetic. Jeez. See, like, the planet is basically halved. And that's why Brio actually has an asteroid belt or ring. Like, Brio actually has a ring, if you notice, like, has like these asteroids orbiting it. Well, as it turns out, those asteroids are just parts of the planet. Devastation from the war. Quite a sobering reality, isn't it? Yeah, thematically, anyway, which, also the combat itself, or the boss fight itself, I really like it. I mean, it's nothing too fancy. It's basically a Dark Samus fight. Which, you know, rather adds to just the notion that, you know, you're not fighting corrupted Rundus, you're actually fighting Dark Samus basically wearing Rundus's skin. But yeah, it's basically a Dark Samus fight, kind of. The Rundus fight and how it works. But yeah, I really like the fight, for the fight's own sake, but also thematically, you know, it's a very significant and sad boss fight, and that's just part of why it's up there. It's up there on my list. I think it's a contender for first place, honestly. But I think I do like the Emperor Ing fight a bit more. But it is a contender. Oh yeah, what am I doing? I can just freeze that. And also, you know, just especially when you take into account, oh, like, Rundus didn't, like, yeah, just, you know, Rundus taking himself out because he's like, I'm not gonna let Dark Samus wield me anymore, you know. You know, Samus is my friend. Which, you know, it is ambiguous. It's not really definite, but I think the evidence points it towards that anyway. Brionian Shriekbat, aggressive ceiling dweller that dive bombs approaching organisms. Finally got you! One of the many types of Shriekbats found across the solar system, the Brionian Shriekbat behaves similar to all of its cousins. Which, this is actually the one kind of Shriekbat that actually looks like a bat. Shriekbats will nest in small groups and make their homes their home in a sheltered environment, dwelling on the top of caverns and ruins. The streak bat will hunt nearby insects and small creatures for food. Once a nesting area has been found, it will be fiercely protected from any intruder. The territorial streak bat will dive bomb any creature that wanders too close, no matter what the size. And once again, I'm going to ask this question. How in the world do you creatures survive as a species if you're constantly self-destructing? The only answer I can think of is they breed faster than rabbits. Oh, new scan. Precision glass gun, gunship. GF records identify pilot as Rundus. Pilot status, deceased. Yep. Thorn Jungle. It's Cliffside. Back to Cliffside. That's apparently what the Brionian ships are, the spherical thingy-bobbers. Hey! Welcome to the stream. Yeah, same.
We have discovered a Federation landing site on Rio.
Yeah, I'm on my way there now.
Use this facility to upgrade your ship. We are sending the coordinates to you now.
No. Yeah. Yeah, same. It's kind of sad. It's a little, you know, it's kind of considered blasphemy in the Metroid community. But honestly, I'm not sure whether this one is my favorite Metroid game or if Prime 2 is my favorite Metroid game. I love them both. Slightly different for different reasons, though. Bryonian labor golem appears deteriorated but still functional. A concussive blast may activate it. Whoops. It is pretty neat. You're able to pilot these different golems. Poor golem is restrained and unable to move. It looks like it is trying to reach for the control unit. Oh, it's raining again. There you are, and it's like, well, now you aren't. Ah! And we... Gotcha. Good choice. Yeah, I've got a real soft spot for hunters as well, and not just because of the multiplayer. Also, I just realized those things that flew by were just regular night barbs, and I didn't scan them. Whoops. Yeah, I think the story mode of Hunters gets a bad rap. Sure, it has its weak points. Like the repetitive nature of some things, but honestly, that doesn't really bug me. Now, it could just be... Yep. I mean, some people get bothered by the repetitive nature of things, but in the Metroid games, yeah, I never got bothered by it. And also, from a lore standpoint, you know, it makes sense, you know, to have certain, like, you know, you have 4 versions of the Credifids, and you have 4 versions of the Slinches, and... Oh, wrong way. Yeah, now because you repeat the Slinches and the Credifids, you know, they become less exciting, and it just seems uncreative. Which, to be fair, they're also having to... you know, deal with the limitations of the DS. Also, Hunters has, you know, with its weak points, it also has a lot of really cool things going for it, like the recurring nature, like the recurring hunters, or the recurring encounters with them, and that it's randomized, basically, when you run into them again. And the fact that they can steal an octolith from you, and you have to actually track them down to find them. You know, really putting hunter in the profession name bounty hunter, right? And then,
Samus, we have uncovered more information regarding your condition. It appears that once activated, the unique phazon inside your body overreacts after several seconds. We did not foresee this problem when we gave you the PED, and unknowingly, we put you in grave danger. We are sorry. Please be aware that it will not be possible to counter Dark Samus without the PED. You must be careful in using it. In the meantime, we will continue to investigate this unique phazon.
well, thanks, folks. I forgive you. It was in ignorance, after all. And they're like, you know, and they are right. It is impossible to counter Dark Samus without it. So, you know. Crystallized fuel gel. Formation is unstable and vulnerable to weapon fire. Aged gel crystal. Hardened shell appears invulnerable to weapons fire. Also, you know, it kind of big of them to actually, you know, come out and say, hey, Samus, we actually messed up. Sorry. There we go. Something kind of surreal about, you know, Federation representatives or whatever actually acknowledging Dark Samus's name and stuff, you know, actually referring to her as Dark Samus and whatnot. Just kind of funny because, you know, it's the arm cannons, you know, for the Marines. Backup cache of Federation weaponry appears to have not been used for some time. You know, just because, you know, they would have, like... Is this a broken one? Yeah, that's a broken one. But, you know, they're just kind of like, hey, this thing looks like this thing looks like Samus. Wait a minute. Why does this thing look like Samus? Samus, what did you do? Okay, but... can poke at the Federation for causing Samus to be in the PED, or for causing a problem with the PED suit. But you know what? Samus is the reason Dark Samus exists in the first place, so... Soften them up. Here, throw your thing at me. No, your chakram. Alright, let's deal with these guys first. Ah, shit. Dang it. Where's the other one? You're the one that I softened up, yes. Come on, throw it, throw it, throw it, throw it, throw it. Ah, you're not softened enough. Dang it. I can, like, barely see them. No. Is that all of them? Yeah, that is the original. Oh, there is one more of you. Okay. I think if I knock him down first, that's an indicator that they're softened up enough. Gotcha! Nice. Yeah, that is the original. Yeah. Of course, he already answered that for you. I've played the trilogy version numerous times, but I've never played the original. This is my first time. And partly because, like, I wanted to do this, partly because, like, I knew there were some differences between, the original and the trilogy version. One of which, famously, rather, I guess, was Admiral Dane's one curse word in the entire game got replaced by no in the trilogy version. And some of the things I've also noticed thus far is some of the scan logs are in different locations. And then the music, I already knew that some of the music was different, like the Brio Natives battle theme is slightly different. Both at the same time. Energy cell used as a power source in Federation technology. Energy cells were designed as a portable power source for the Federation. Their high power-to-energy ratio makes them ideal for powering a wide variety of equipment. Throughout the environment, you may encounter stations that contain an energy cell. Removing the cell will leave these stations permanently offline. You will then be able to place the collected energy cell into a new station that is empty. Gotcha. Does this count as larceny? Maybe. Then again, that's just kind of what Sam's does, you know. It's part of the territory. What's the difference between... I don't think I've been able to quite understand this. What is the difference between theft and arson? Is there actually a difference? Let's see. Just thinking to myself. Yeah. Yeah, with hunters, I also just, you know, of course, I just love all the different bounty hunters as well, just and learning their backstories and, you know, where they're from. And also just hunters that just has so much world building potential. And, you know, some world building in of itself as well.
Data received.
And also, I think... Yeah. Yeah, I love all the different Wii gimmicks and puzzles and such. Like, some people get annoyed by it, but I love it. I really love it, you know. It's part of why I love Prime 3. Just like, you know, lift the Wii remote. It's a lever. Pull, twist. Pull it. Twist it. Bop it. Anyway, also, you get to use your gunship. Dude, they need to make it so that, you know, it can... Samus's ship versus the Delano 07. Come on, it's gotta happen. So larceny is theft, but specifically without violent face-to-face encounters, as opposed to robbery. Ah, I see. Also, I think Gorea is an underrated Metroid villain. Like, a lot of people don't even know who Gorea is because they just haven't played Hunters or whatever. I'd say this is a good place to stop. Next episode, we'll finish up Brio. But first, I'll go over to the other area, just so we start. We'll start on the Thorn Jungle side. Just cause, you know, so we don't feel too repetitive. We start with the fire, or, you know, going to the fire area first. But yeah, next episode, next stream, we'll wrap up Brio. Which is nice, because, like, each area, you know, lasts, like, kind of the first section with Norian and Olympus is kind of, like, the only one that, you know, you could fit within 2.5 hours. And then this one, you know... Alright, save here. Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for watching. As always, God bless, and I hope to see you all next time for some more Metroid Prime 3. Or heck, maybe my next stream will actually be a Hunter stream, I don't know. But, ciao. Thank you all for joining. See you later.